Flashpoint Ferguson and other good shit. I'm telling you, I've been watching this thing in Ferguson. Has anybody been watching this? Because this is exactly what I've been talking about. This is Thunder Hands with the Campfire Council. This riot in Ferguson is, I haven't really looked at it today, but last I heard they were declaring martial law. Now, it all started off where some black kid, excuse me, got shot. Another shooting by our wonderful, wonderful, compassionate police. Now, this kid was black and he got shot 6 times, and now they're finding out he got shot once in the top of the head and he was unarmed. I guess he stole a pack of cigars, or blunts they call them, out of a store. And another killing of another person of color. Can't tell you how many of those we've had and how many killings we have across the nation by police. As I said, police state. Can we say police state? Now, when I look at this whole thing, I see really a lack of leadership here in all areas, because as the community in Ferguson, which is outside of St. Louis, a suburb of St. Louis, which is predominantly black, as this, community started erupting or protesting in a peaceful way at first. First it was peaceful, believe it or not. People came out and were protesting and just going, this can't be happening again. Well, I got news for you. It is. It happens every day. Police just shoot people if it's not a matter of if you have a confrontation or if there's anything to do with a police officer in this manner. It's, and things escalate a little bit. It's not a matter of if you're going to get shot. It's like, how soon will they shoot you? They don't try to take you down anymore. They're a bunch of cowards, first of all. Let me get that out of the way. Got all these people in military gear trained to supposedly control mobs and that kind of thing, but yet they can't deal with one friggin' person. Okay? Now, they have tasers that will knock you right on your ass if if you get tasered, you're all over the ground screaming in agony and not moving. Okay? Or if the police officer knows anything about martial arts, and they all should, since they have all this combat gear on and they claim to be military. Military means martial, military, I could take a person down and look how old I am. I could take a person down in about 3 seconds, okay? Especially if they're unarmed. Even armed, if they're at arm's length, I can get that gun, stick it right where the sun don't shine. But these stupid wimp, coward cops just shoot people. Is this some kind of new order, from the on high, new rules? Just shoot people and ask questions later. Anyway, I could spend all day on that, but to me, a guy that can't take down a kid, or even an adult, doesn't matter if they're a kid. If you're a cop and you can't close the distance, take them down, use your baton, use your smarts, use your taser, do whatever, non-lethally, then you're an idiot, or you're just a killer. Oh, he was afraid for his life, maybe. Well, don't be a cop then, stupid. Because you're going to have life-threatening situations arise. Anyway, to get back to the main thing, is like they called out the troops, they called out the muscle cars and Humvee looking things and the machine guns and the da-di-da-di-da-di-da, all, you know, the big line with the new look in the police department. What happened to, you know, what happened to, you know, protect and serve, you know? The Andy Griffith Show, remember that cop? Jesus. Anyway, they came out in force, and then, you know, they started intimidating people. They actually aroused the people. The people were just protesting, and they came out looking like these people were rioters. Now, see, this is what doesn't make sense. First, people came out that weren't rioters, that were just protesters and newsmen, that kind of thing, and they treated them like they were rioters, and that they were, and they had these police lines and tear gas grenades and all this shit going. And then, you know, when the people started getting a little bit pissed off about this because they were just protesting, then what happened? Well, then the police backed way off. They just disappeared. Now, why did they do that? Well, that's when the looters came out. That's when people from other, not even that town, looters started coming in from other cities and raiding these stores. And they wanted, in my mind, they wanted looting to start. First they agitate the protesters and get them riled up. Then they back off. Why did they back off? No, you don't back off. You keep control of the situation. If you're there and you're showing all this muscle, well, you better not back off. You better take control of the situation. But they backed off. What kind of strategic thinking is that? And all these people just started going berserk. Like I say, they started looting. The gangbangers came out, and the lowlifes, and all the people that are basically thieves came out and started raiding stores, and just en masse. So what happens then? They send in a black guy that's head of the highway patrol. And everybody was singing Kumbaya for a while. Oh yeah, it's all cool now. You know, the big authoritarian police aren't here, it's the highway patrol. And then those guys either backed off, or I don't know what happened after that, but then the riot just escalated even more. And more and more and more and more and more. Until it was just out of control. And then it was like, let's call in the National Guard, and people were getting shot in the streets. I think 2 more people got shot. And it's like, see, people, this is what I've been talking about with the flashpoint that could happen overnight. This happened overnight. And I've been talking about this. I've been talking about it for months now. That's all it's going to take. And what if, you know, the racial card was played here too, and what if this spread all over America? What if, you know, the African American community got pissed off all over America because this kid got shot, and they're seeing looting, and things like this catch fire. It's inflammatory. And then they send in, they declare martial law supposedly, and Eric Holder's there, and they're sending in the National Guard. Well, people, this is exactly what I'm talking about. How overnight, you know, if something goes down, every city in America is vulnerable to this. That's why I say, as a precept of the Campfire Council, which I haven't really talked about in a long time, is that you get out of the cities, you learn to live with nature, you learn to protect yourself, and you learn to detach from all this stuff. And you learn to live next to nature and track and get into spiritual exercises and sacred tradition. What more could you ask for? People, you need to join up with the Campfire Council. There'll be somewhere up here popping up, maybe. I don't know. If it's not, it's down there. Go click on the link, Campfire Council. Donate, because we need more funds. We have an office and everything, but things are starting to get a little low here. People are backing off a little because they're, well, I guess, it's the sign of the times of money's getting harder. We need your support because we're the only ones who got the answer to this stuff, really. I mean, look at some of these leaders. Now, see, this is another thing that I wanted to just throw out there. I don't care where you go, you're not finding leaders anymore that know shit. What's their IQ? What are these people's IQ? I mean, just take, for example, over in Ukraine with the West, we talked about how the West imposed sanctions, and then the EU is like going hand in hand with the West and imposing sanctions on Russia, and then all of a sudden Russia, like, instead of being Mr. Nice Guy like they have been, fires back with real sanctions. Like, we ain't going to buy any of your food, Poland. Well, guess what? Poland's about ready to collapse, as are other EU puppets of the West. When are these people going to wake up? And then Poland goes, oh my God, we're having a hard time here. And they go to the World Trade Organization or something. Well, what did they think when they went along with the sanctions against Russia? What were they thinking? Do they have half a brain? Do they have an IQ? Do they think at all like, well, if I do this, they may do this back? I don't think these leaders I don't think they have an IQ or any kind of intelligence. I think I'm 10 times smarter. I think there's people out there on the streets that are 10 times smarter than these people. How did they get into office? Just look at them with their glazed look and their suits and ties and their prideful looking attitudes. They don't know shit. I'm telling you. You can't think 2 steps ahead that if you go along with sanctions, somebody's going to sanction your ass back. Or even the West, making these people, impose sanctions, the EU. Do you think that it's not going to hurt if the EU crashes, the European Union, it's not going to hurt the West? These people just do not think straight. It's about time that we got some people in there. It's about time the militia groups came in, don't you think? Where are they hiding? At the Bundy Ranch? Why don't they come in and take out these friggin' leaders? Take them out of office. Take them out. You bunch of wimps. It's too late. You need to get the people out of there that are causing the trouble. That, like I say, they don't have any IQs. Most college kids coming out of school don't have an IQ and haven't had for a long time. They just go there, rote memorization, and remember. I doubt if Obama has a high IQ. Or, presidents are basically, they're corrupt and crooked anyway. Way back to Harding and back in the 20s, man, it was all corrupt. Do you think anything's changed? No. But now it's just, the gangsters are trying to look legal instead of looking like, Lucky Luciano and Al Capone and those guys. At least they were out front about it. I'm telling you, people are just, they'll take anything. The American public will swallow anything. They really will. They have no brains. They're dumbed down, something. They weren't born in my era. Man, if I probably think I got the equivalent of a couple of college degrees, 2 or 3 compared to what, I mean, if these kids come out this stupid. See, the thing is they don't have any street smarts. They don't learn things the hard way. They don't. And who's Obama anyway? Where did he come from? And what was his background? He was just a black kid like anybody else. And all of a sudden he's president of the United States? What happened to the quality? Even George Bush was a dummy. I got a baseball team. Whatever. That's what he did before he was. I own a baseball team. My daddy's George Senior. Bush. Hoo. And then, they're always, here's another thing that really irks me, is it's like, I've been following this white convoy truck thing for like a week now. And it's like, yeah, they're going in. Yep, they're on their way in. The Ukraine says they're on their way in. Oh, the Red Cross is going here. Yeah, the last minute thing. Oh, yeah, but they're going to go in. And then it gets distracted by something else. Oh, a convoy got blown up. Notice they use the word convoy. They got the white convoy, and that's a distraction. A convoy. Oh, is that the white one that got blown up? Or people are going, huh? What's going on here? Did the white one get in? Did the good guy, did the humanitarian aid get in? And then no, come to find out this convoy was another convoy. And then, oh, but it wasn't really a convoy because they can't find evidence. And it's like, hello? Does this picture, is there something wrong with this picture here? How long does it take to drive 200 trucks across the border? People, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong. And then the same news stories say the same things, like I said before, over and over and over and over and over and over. It's like, okay, but tell us when the trucks are going to get there. Show us the pictures of the people smiling and receiving goods and services and water and electricity and kids not dying anymore and people not getting their legs blown off. I don't want to hear a bunch of shit about leaders getting together. They're having a meeting. There's another one. Well, the members of France and Germany and the what is it? The prime ministers, not the prime ministers, the diplomats, whatever they call them. I can't even remember now what they call them. They say it enough times. The foreign diplomats of all the countries, not the main leaders, but the negotiators. We're all getting together in such and such a place, and we're all going to Ukraine and Russia and France and Germany, and we're all going to discuss it and work it out. 2 days later, nothing's worked out. Then 2 more days later, oh, we're having another meeting and we're going to work it out. 2 days later, hasn't been worked out. And then all of a sudden, oops, we're going to have another man, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. What do they do at these meetings? Play mumbly peg? Do they sit there and scratch their ass and look at each other? What are they doing? What use is it to have a friggin' meeting? Is it just a pretense to make people think like, yeah, we're trying? I mean, why do we have to continually hear about, I'd like to be a fly on the wall or, in one of these meetings. What are they doing there? What does Merkel do when she meets with Putin and talks to him in Russian? What do they talk about? As she holds her ground and he holds his? Or what do these people talk about on the phone with each other? When they say, oh, the situation's really, really getting dire, what do they talk about? I mean, if I had a problem and I call somebody up, if I had a problem with somebody, I call them up and I say, hey, we got this problem. How are we going to work? Then, by the next day, it's worked out. It's friggin' worked out by the next day. How hard is it to talk to somebody and go, this is what we need to do? People are suffering. People are dying. We need to not think about ourselves. We need to put them first and quit this friggin' fighting and the war thing and the gamemanship and all this bullshit and help these people. Then we'll get back to the fighting or whatever. But they can't even do that. What are these meetings for? What are these leaders for? See, there is no leadership. There's no leadership. It's plain and simple. And if there is, it's corrupt and low IQ. I'm beginning to think that these leaders are dumbed down. We haven't had any good leaders in a long time. Most of them are pretty stupid. I've been watching this series called Boardwalk Empire about the 20s and how all the people came up and how everybody was taking payoffs and bribes and all this shit. And the presidents and the senators were all in everybody's pocket. Well, hey, gee, I guess this isn't nothing new then, is it? No, it isn't. So the people out there suffer while these evil bastards are trying to run things or giving the semblance of running. They're not running anything except into the ground. They're running it into the ground. And all these people, like there's 2 or 3 people in each field like finance and, foreign affairs and stuff like that. There might be 1 or 2 people that get out there and talk on the internet that really care. That really, are like, yeah, we really care about what's going on and this is what's going on, and they explain it to you and it's like, ooh. These people are being truthful because it's something you don't want to hear. And meanwhile, all the time that they're telling us that everything's hunky-dory with finances and all this stuff, food's going up. And gas is, and the police state's getting worse, and these people are saying it's getting worse, and they're saying exactly what I've been saying is like, there's going to be a bubble that pops. There's going to be an explosion. There's going to be an end to this because it can't go on forever the way they're propping it up because it's all a lie. It's all a Ponzi scheme. It's all like, the old shell and pea game or the smoke and mirrors. That's what it is. It's funny, really. Because there's nothing you can do, so you might as well just, okay. I watch it now sometimes, and then sometimes I get on here because I figured, well, what else do I have to do? Might as well tell the truth to people so they know, or at least they halfway know what's going on. Maybe it's better not to know, though. If you do know, you have to start applying the principles of Mu Shin, no mind, or mind like water. The Taoist principles of Mu Shin, and which is, like I said, mind like water. Let thoughts flow away, negative thoughts, and detachment, non-attachment to any kind of circumstance. It don't matter. And going with the flow. Just go with the flow, just watch it all. What else can you do? It's like here we are in this little canoe going over these rapids and there ain't nothing you can do when you're in a canoe headed for some rapids. If you can't get to the side, you just got to go with the flow, keep your balance, kind of ignore the, you don't want to panic, because if you panic you'll do something wrong. the most likely way you're going to get through all this is just to go with the flow and watch it all go down. There's no guarantees in life, is there? You may capsize and go under, and that's it. Well, so what? You go under. How many people before you have gone under? We all are going to go under at one point. So in a way, I guess, this is all kind of useless, isn't it? Me even talking about this stuff. It's kind of useless. Sometimes I do these videos and watch them back, and I'm going, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I even talking about it? If nothing can be done, if the Taoist approach is just go with the flow, detach, it's just too chaotic, well, maybe this is why I do the video, because at the end here I'm saying, hey, look, it's a kind of a yin-yang thing. It's like, here's the yang, here's one side, and here's the other. Here's the cause, here's the effect. Here's the reaping, here's the sowing, or the sowing and the reaping. The karmic manifestation of karma for something that went down a long time ago. I'm just talking. This is Thunder. My friends are out there, so I like to talk to them, even if it's one way. And they say they like me informing them, so I guess that's why I'm doing this. Certainly isn't to be a star or get views or anything like that, although I do appreciate the support for the Campfire Council, and I'm still trying to get that thing squared away, because it just takes funding, people. It takes people out there that are entrepreneurs or people that are in a little bit higher scale that want to, do this movement some good or join the movement. But it's good we have the movement anyway, the Campfire Council, because if you go to the page and you look at the ideals laid out, it's better than any church or religion or government organization or anything. It's common sense, counsel. Giving counsel, taking counsel, having counsel with one another, the counsel of the elders. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll put this video out, but I might. What am I going to call it? Thunder talks about the latest BS. I don't know. Every time I say something, though, I hope I open some eyes about leadership and just the whole stupidity of everything. It's just a mess. How do you make it not a mess? How do you make it? How do we straighten out the world, people? Well, we can't. We can't save the world. We can't straighten out, but we can stick together. We can bond together in one, unified thought. We can help each other by talking to each other and corresponding and forming little organizations like the Campfire Council and maybe banding together with other organizations. Hell, I'd like to have a bunch of us all together. Bunch of people. You know what the real problem is? This is something that really is an eye-opener that I heard the other day, is that it all kind of started, I mean, the latest debacle of America not being America anymore, and America not being self-sufficient and not being broke, is when we started outsourcing all the jobs here, and all the craftsmanship and everything that people used to do here, that, you know, they get paid 15 cents, I mean $15 an hour, that, you know, they exported to China and they pay them 15 cents a day or something, or 15 cents an hour, as opposed to $15 or $20 an hour, or even 10. Nothing is done in America anymore. I mean, even when you call up somebody on a support line for like some electronic firm or Amazon or anybody, somebody in India answers the phone. Nothing is made in America anymore. There's nothing here except farming, and that's all shipped out. You know, so it's like, figure it out, people. If there's no way, no jobs, even answering the phone jobs, what's left? Well, the service sector, Walmart, McDonald's, go nowhere jobs. Okay, there are no jobs anymore. They've all been sent outside of America. And there's no way that you're going to bring them back now, because they made deals with these people in China and all these different places that they got to stick to. So it's over. You can't make your own goods anymore. Nothing's handcrafted in America. I mean, you could, man, when I was a kid, they had handcrafted everything. Leather goods, cars, motorcycles, Detroit, or, you know, steel industry. Even the computer industry, when it first started, everything was made in America. You saw that a lot. You never see the clothes, everything. That's all gone now. It's all made in Taiwan, made in China, made in, you know, Mexico. Nothing, but it's sold here. See, they ship it back here and then they sell it for huge, huge profit margins, because they don't pay people over there in those countries. So this is all gone to their head, you see. It's all gone to their head, and they're like, made all this tons of money till they can't make any anymore. But see, when you outsource jobs like that, eventually things are going to collapse. Things are going to collapse because the people here don't have any jobs to make money to buy the goods that they're outsourcing. They can't even buy stuff from China. They can't buy goods. People here, they don't have to make enough money. There's no jobs. The people over there have the jobs, and they're sending the crap back here. That's what's happening, people. And they're trying to prop it up with debt, okay? Everybody has to be in debt, credit cards, whatever, just to live. It's all phony. It's all an illusion. It's all like dominoes. It's all like the Wizard of Oz. None of it's real. The leaders aren't real. The jobs aren't real. The income isn't real, because as soon as it comes in, it goes out. Income, come out, come in. Come in, come out. You might as well just do nothing and let the state support you, which is basically what's happening now anyway. And most people are on food stamps. Wait till that goes down. Oh my God. Wait till this whole thing explodes and there's just, people aren't getting their checks anymore from the government or their food stamps or any of that stuff. You're going to see chaos, people. I got news for you. So you better get out of the cities. You better join something like Campfire Council. Band up with other people. Or just take the Taoist attitude, and which is Campfire Council is kind of a Taoist attitude. We just look at it and go, get ready, prepare yourself, kind of detach from everything. And hope for the best. Hope that, we can all band together and somehow get through it. But get through it to what? It's like when somebody lives in a house and they trash it. If you get through it, you still got the trashed house if you survive, which is the planet and the resources. See, but if these idiots weren't controlling things, I think we could turn this around quickly. Start farming again. Start building stuff here. Start bartering. Start using our own bartering system. So that's what it's going to come to. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there today. Tired of hearing myself talk, so I'll leave it there and hope for the best. This is Thunder, over and out. Till I see you next time. Love all you guys. Later.